Hello everyone, Catweazle here, welcome to the channel and welcome back to our playthrough of Eldritch Horror and the Masks of Nyarlathotep, where we're just about to start episode 3. But before we do, as ever, there's a few discussion points about the previous episode which we'll go through. First things first, when I was doing some of the acquire assets tests, I was actually putting the resource there and saying like, well, we've got a success. Well, yes, we did, yeah, but you don't have to declare that you're spending a resource. You can leave it until you've actually done your acquire assets test, so you don't have to grab your resource immediately. The only reason I was doing that was just to show you that we did have a success in the bag should we need it. Now, I ended up spending a success for Daniela Reyes, and it didn't really matter because Daniela Reyes, when she makes an acquire assets action, gets a resource back. Anyway, it's her passive ability. But it was a bit the wrong way around, really. You'd think normally what you'd do for anybody is you would spend the successes that you got on the dice first, and you would retain your resource for as long as possible. But it was a good job I did, actually, because if you actually check her personal story, she has to spend resources. She has to spend 8 resources in order to achieve it. So she has actually spent one of her resources. The reason I did it, I just didn't really care. I knew she was getting one back. I hadn't considered her personal story at that point. But since I just realised, I thought, oh right, she has spent a resource. So it was good that I did it in that way. For any other investigator, no. Obviously, keep your hands on your resources if you can. But for Daniela, the fact that I got it arse upwards, it worked in our favour. So she has spent 1 resource now, and that means she's only got 7 more to go before she completes her personal story. Staying on resources, I've been playing Preston wrong. I read his ability wrong. When he was acquiring assets, he could have acquired resources as well. Got a resource as well. I thought that only applied if somebody else was on his space with him, and he had nobody else on his space at Istanbul the 2 times that he did it. But yes, he could have gathered resources. He hasn't. I'm not going to give him the resources that he should have gathered. Let's just say he forgot to do it. But going forwards, yes, he can gather resources when he acquires an asset as well. That also applies to anybody who is on the same space with him. If it's a city space, then they can gather resources and acquire assets as well. So long as the other person who's on that on that city space with him, hasn't already acquired assets that round, they can also acquire assets. That's, you know, it's like he's paying for you. Yeah, Preston's sort of saying, oh, I'm getting what I want, you get what you want, I've got tons of money. Yeah, so that's Preston's ability, which I've been playing wrong. So we'll play it right from now on. Now, the big discussion point, which I've saved till last, regards, yes, thought it would be. Remember, we picked up 3 clues from Jack Brady here. Carson did anyway. And then we used it to spend 1 on the adventure. Now, there has been a difference of opinion, whereby some people think it's including me, thought it was okay to put a clue on the research encounter through that, and indeed to use those 3 clues in order to pass Carson's personal story, which was 3 clues off a research encounter. Let's just go through the research encounter again. So here we are. A hardy-looking man questions you regarding what you know about Nyarlathotep, and then you do a test. So you do a test, do an influence test. Now, if you pass, like we did, he actually joins us. So Jack Brady joined us. If we failed, he would have attacked us and we'd have lost 2 health. The reason for that is Jack Brady's quite a handy guy. Yeah, and this is where it comes. There are a lot of people who think that the clues that you get from Jack Brady don't count. And the reason for that is, this is an effect, and the effect is that you get Jack Brady. The effect written on this card is not that you get a clue. However, it's It's not quite as cut and dried as that. Because if we have a look at Jack Brady, Remember, he's the effect that you receive from that card, according to this counter-argument. Well, when you gain this card from the deck, you gain 3 clues. That is the same time. Jack Brady comes with 3 clues. It's not just his card. You get Jack Brady and 3 clues. Now, that makes sense, because those 3 clues are his knowledge. Yeah? He doesn't, like, have an action here to get these clues. He already knows it because he's Jack Brady and he knows about Nyarlathotep. Now, Jack Brady, in the original Masks of Nyarlathotep, which is a Call of Cthulhu RPG scenario, he was part of the Carlisle expedition, which is the basis for these particular set of adventures that we're doing. And he was like the major domo. He was the bodyguard of Carlisle. Now, out of the 5 or 6 people that were actually on the expedition, they are the world experts in Nyarlathotep because of what they've experienced. Out of those 5 or 6 people, Jack Brady is the only one who wasn't seduced by Nyarlathotep. He is the only good guy left. All the rest of them turned to the dark side and became puppets of Nyarlathotep. Jack Brady didn't. That is why Jack Brady gains 3 clues, because he knows a hell of a lot about Nyarlathotep. That is why when you get him as an ally, he brings that knowledge with him. That knowledge comes with his character immediately. He always had that knowledge. Yeah, ever since he was a member of the Carlisle expedition, he's known about Nyarlathotep. So when you pick him up, he shares all that knowledge with you. Yes, that makes perfect thematic narrative sense. That is part of this card. You get that knowledge with this card. This card is an effect of this. So the clues are an effect of that. Plus, like, you get a load of people now who will just go, no, no, no. I can see where they're coming from, but I'm explaining why I'm going to house rule it, that I'm allowing it. Now, if it had been like this, which is a bit below, after resolving an expedition encounter or a Mystic Ruins encounter, gain 3 clues instead of 1 relic asset, then yes, I'd completely agree. Yeah, it's not the same. But the fact that these 3 clues come with Jack Brady, who is the effect of this card, so it's Jack Brady and the clues that come with this card, I'm allowing it. Yeah. Apparently there's another, I think it's Haster, and Hildred Castaigne is another ally that has a lot of clues. Hildred Castaigne, I believe, is either the writer or director of The King in Yellow. And there's another argument about whether his clues should be allowed in this manner. Well, I would allow it because of the narrative. I play these games. This is this is a thematic game. The whole idea is you make a story out of it. Yeah, you try to stop Nyarlathotep, and we're making a story out of it. And in this part of the narrative, Carson has bumped into Jack Brady. Jack Brady has believed Carson when Carson has told him that they are on the hunt for Nyarlathotep, and he's thrown him with us, and he's brought that knowledge from the Carlisle expedition with him. Yeah, and I'm ruling that he can use part of that knowledge to help us save that, to help us pass that previous adventure and move on to the next one. So I'm going to house rule it like that. I've also argued why I believe the clues come with this, because it's not a separate thing on the card. Those clues come with the card. The card is an effect of gaining, of passing this wilderness, this research encounter in the wilderness. This card is an effect of passing that. The clues come with the card. So I am house ruling that that's fine. Now there's quite a few people out there who will not agree with that. That's fine. Play it how you like with your game. But as I say, I'm in this for the story and the narrative, and that makes complete narrative sense to me. Carson's bumped into this guy. He happens to be a world expert on Nyarlathotep. He's used his knowledge to advance that adventure. That makes perfect sense to me. Makes perfect story-driven sense to me as well. Not using his knowledge and not advancing the adventure does not make any sense to me. It's just, no, that's just, you know, a mechanic to say, oh no, you can't use it, just to make the game a bit more difficult for you. It doesn't make any narrative sense whatsoever. So, I'm allowing it. So, there you go. I did warn you when it happened that I wasn't going to change it, and I'm not going to change it, so I'm just explaining why. It's up to you. It's your game, whether you want to play it the same way I've done. But I've explained why I'm playing it the way I am, and he's keeping it. I did consider about whether these 3 clues counted as the 3 Eldritch tokens to pass Carson's personal story, and I'm going to allow it. Sometimes you're just lucky. He was extremely lucky to bump into Jack Brady, and I'm going to allow it and he's going to pass it. So again, I'm being a bit lenient, but for the sake of the story and the narrative sense it makes, I'm allowing it. So there you go. That's my reasoning behind that. If you don't like it, you don't like it, fair enough. But I'm allowing it. So there we go. So I've gone through that now. So hopefully we're all on the same page. You may not agree with the page, but it's the same one. Right-o. So having gone through that, let's get on with the action phase. And here we are at the action phase. Right, this crappy Rumour that's threatening to take all our assets, we've got to sort some out. So I've had a good hard think, and what we're going to do is we're going to start by changing our first investigator. Our lead investigator is now going to be Daniela Reyes, who's in Rome. So she's going to go first, and the first thing that she is going to do is she is going to get herself a train ticket. She's in Rome, it has a train line, so she can do that. Then what she's going to do is she is going to move to the pyramids and say hello to Carson. Say hello to Carson. Hello, Carson. Right, so that is the end of her action phase. She's prepared for travel, and then she's moved to the pyramids, which is Sea Lane, so she just moved 1. She hasn't spent the train ticket. Okay, that's it for Daniela. Next up is Agatha. And here we are with Agatha. And we're going to need this because for her first action, she's going to acquire assets. We might not solve this rumour, you never know, so let's get as much stuff as we can while we can. So she has got an influence of 3, so we'll get 3 dice, and hopefully we'll get as many successes as possible. We get 1. So we get a single success. Now, is she going to take a bank loan? There's a question. So I think we've got, it's a 50-50 chance, and she did get away with it last time. The reason is she could get the investment here. On a reckoning, your investment has paid off. You may discard this card to gain a funding condition. So, but I'd prefer that, he says, chucking it on the floor. I'd prefer that to stay within the reserve. The reason for that is it only costs 1, and the way that Preston's rolling, you know, I'd like for, you know, some low cost assets to remain in the reserve, but I'm not that keen on spending. I'm not that keen on getting a debt condition, I must admit. If I got a debt condition, I could get the carbine rifle or the arcane tome, both of which are 3 cost. The arcane tome, you know, we get +2 law, but we're already getting a bonus off the grotesque compendium. So, but when you perform a rest action, you can test law and gain a spell. So I don't know. Should I actually? Yes, sod it, we'll gain a debt condition. We'll risk it for a biscuit. And there is the carbine rifle as well. Can we imagine Agatha with a carbine rifle? I don't know. Right, anyway, what we'll do is we will take this. We'll take it. We might be lucky, and we might actually. Yes, it's one green and one yellow left, isn't it? I think. Right, yeah, I think so. I hope so. I hope I haven't miscounted. So we'll go from the back. That's funding. Dark patch, we certainly don't want one of them. Funding again. An agreement, don't want them either. A debt. So she's took the debts. So that's 3 successes. I think we'll leave the carbine rifle. And we will take this. Now, we won't be using the gain +2 when resolving the spell, but I think we will be resting at some point. And if we can test, you know, our law, which is pretty good, we can gain a spell. Yeah. So, I'm going to take the Arcane Tome. And hopefully, what we'll now do is we'll replace Arcane Tome in the reserve with whatever's on the top here, and it's a single. So brilliant. Even though it's whiskey, which isn't very good, all we need is 2 successes now, and Preston, he'll easily get 2 successes. You may discard this card to prevent an investigator on your space from losing up to 2 sanity. Actually, this is a very good card for this particular playthrough because of those silly Eldritch tokens. So actually, that's not a bad card. So we'll pop whiskey into the asset reserve. Excellent. And there we go. Now, let's put a debt condition on there so we don't forget about it, just in case we do get a horrible, horrible reckoning. Get rid of that success. And what are we going to do for our second action? For our second action, what we're going to do, I was going to get a ship ticket because I want to get over towards the Amazon, you know, sort of go this way and come the other way on the board. But tell you what, we'll actually get a focus token just for a reroll. Yeah, you never know when we might need it, especially if a reckoning comes in on that debt. As it is, we might need the reroll as well when we come to try and shut this gate, because we're going to try and shut the gate again. Okay, right, so that is it for Agatha. Next up, it is Carson. And here we are with Carson. His first action is going to be his special action, which means he can trade. And yes, he's going to trade with Daniela. Can you see what's going to happen? Yes, he's going to trade with Daniela, and he's going to trade this train ticket. So he's going to take the train ticket. Then, as part of his special action, he can do another action. So he can trade, and then he can perform an additional action. And what he's going to do is he's going to travel. So he's going to travel to Istanbul, but he's not going to stay in Istanbul because he's going to spend that ticket he just traded for. And yes, he gets to space 16. And remember, he still has 2 clues from Jack Brady. So he's got enough to finish that actual rumour. Come on, Carson. So he's spent that train ticket. And at the end of all that, he's at space 16. He has still got another action. So what is he going to do? What he's going to do is he is going to get a focus as well, because we want as many re-rolls as possible, because we want to get rid of that rumour. He does have 4 observation now, but having more re-rolls, well, yes please. So he's now got 2 focus tokens. So hopefully with those 2 focus tokens and his 4 observation, he'll be able to put those 2 clues on that rumour and get rid of it, hopefully. That is the plan. And yes, that's it for Carson. Did his trade action, got his additional action, moved, used a train ticket, then he gained a focus. So that is it for Carson. Next up is Preston Fairmont. And here we are with Preston. We're going to need this because, yes, it's the old acquire assets time. But what he's going to do first is he's actually going to move. And he's going to move to space 16 with Carson. The reason for that is this really kicks in on his special ability, Preston's special ability, because he is now going to acquire assets. Because he's going to acquire assets, that means he can get a free resource, which he does. So he's going to take that. Then he's going to actually acquire assets. And in doing this, he's also going to be able... we're also going to be able to acquire assets for Carson. We'll do Carson after this. So Carson and Preston have bumped into each other in some Turkish bazaar or whatever, and they're doing a bit of shopping. Right, so Preston, he has 7 influence. Dun, dun, dun. Does he get anything else? Oh yes, his fine clothes mean that if he rolls a 6, then that counts for 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And remember, he's got a resource. Oh, look at that again, 1, 6 again. So he did get 2 successes at least. So he gets 2 successes, which is all he needs. Now, he's not going to spend his resource. That could go up to 3 and he could get that carbine rifle. But we definitely want him to be able to pass his... want him to pass his personal story. He's got 6 assets. He needs 8. So he's going to spend those 2 successes on the whiskey and the investment. He now has 8 assets. So that saves us a bit of a worry. So if we have a look at his personal story, if you or another investigator performs an acquire assets action, if that investigator has 8 or more assets, discard this card and gain the Philanthropy Reward. Woo! So here we go, Philanthropy Reward. When you gain this card, improve influence and will. Now his influence is at the top, so we can't improve that, but we can improve will again. So he's now up to 3 will. So hopefully that will stop him losing so much sanity, getting that extra die roll. Once per round, when you or another investigator gains a resource, that investigator may gain 1 additional resource. Well, that's going to come in virtually straight away. So there we are with Preston. He's done his acquire assets. We need 2 to fill the reserve because he's finished now. Before we get on to Carson, Carson will be doing a separate action. It's an additional action, but it's separate. So I believe we do get to refill the reserve. So there's tear gas for 1, item weapon. You may discard this card and re-roll up to 2 dice when resolving a combat test during a combat encounter. In addition, reduce the monster's damage by 2 to a minimum of 1. So we've got tear gas, and we've got specialised training, which is also 1. Task. When you perform a focus action, you may consult experts to train you. Will test. If you pass, discard this card and improve 1 skill of your choice. Oh, not too bad. So those have come in. But that's not what we're after. What we're after is obviously the carbine rifle and the holy water. So what normally happens in Eldritch Horror, we will get some epic monster at some point. It normally happens. If you have something like holy water or a carbine rifle, it's going to help out. Now, good old Carson, he has a influence of 4. So that's pretty good. He's got a re-roll and stuff like that, but we're just going to roll 4 dice and see what he can do. Ideally, we'd like 3 successes, but I've been rolling rubbish. Come on, Carson, you can do it, mate. No, you can't. However, he does have 2 resources. You got one resource, because just like Preston, he's on the same space, he got a resource anyway. But philanthropy, because Preston obviously went first and got his philanthropy, we gain an additional resource. Woo! So we actually got 2 resources. Now, do we want to spend those? Is the question. So we got no successes, but we could spend 2 of these and get the holy water. And the reason why I'm thinking of getting the holy water, it's a bit too late for this round, but there is an action on it. So you can get +5 will and +5 strength during a combat encounter, brilliant. But this action, discard this card to choose an investigator on your space to gain a blessed condition. That could be really helpful. So he's going to spend those 2 resources he just got, and he's going to take the holy water. So he's got it in the local Russian Orthodox Church and got himself some holy water. There we go. So he'll either bless himself next turn, or perhaps he will bless Preston. Good stuff. Right, that's it. Apart from, obviously, we have got to replace the holy water in the asset reserve. And we've got consecration. Service. When you gain this card, immediately gain a boon condition. Then discard this card. Brilliant. That's fantastic as well. Let's get people blessed. So consecration goes into the reserve. That is it for Carson. And, well, Preston and Carson, who sort of Carson got the extraction from Preston, but essentially that's the end of Preston's go. Preston was our final investigator, so next up is the encounter phase. And here we are at the encounter phase. So Daniela is our first player. She is going to try and pick up that research clue at the pyramids. So here we go. Let's whip it over. And it's the wilderness. You search the scorched area to the best of your abilities. Observation -1. Her observation is 1. So -1 is 0. You can't roll no dice, so we're going to get at least 1 dice. We need a 1 dice Catweazle special. Come on. A 4, not good enough. Oh, damn. So, we're not having much luck picking this clue up, are we? If you fail, you remain too long in the tainted area and a sickly blight seeps under your skin, gain an Eldritch token. Damn it. So that's an Eldritch token that's... she's only got 5 sanity as well, so that's bad. So she's got 2 Eldritch tokens now. Why did it have to be? That's a that is a worst skill observation. So she's got 2 Eldritch tokens. Oh dear. Right-o. So we didn't pick the clue up either. Load of old pants. Right-o. After Daniela, it is Agatha. So let's move down to Squidney. And here we are in Squidney with Agatha. What's she going to do? She's going to try and close the gate. That's what she's going to do. So that's an otherworld encounter. Let's flip it over. And we'll go to Yuggoth. Woo! You discover a fetid creature with wings and webbed feet. The beast is strange, like something from your wildest dreams. You may spend 1 clue to resolve the pass effect. If you do not spend the clue, resolve the fail effect. That is pretty much saying spend the clue, isn't it? We do have a clue. Remember, she got a clue from passing her spell last time. So she's going to spend that clue. Hang on. Pop that there. We will discard the clue. And we'll do the pass effect. You believe you've read a way to use this beast to travel through space. Law. Well, you've read some funny books, Agatha. I'll give you that. Remember, we've got 1 focus Yes, we've got single focus, but we've also got 5 lore. Do we get anything that helps us out? Tome of Secrets. Oh, you may spend 1 focus instead of spending a clue. Let me get that out of the discard. So, took that clue out of the discard, and what we're going to spend is the focus instead, because you never know, clues come in very useful. So sorry about that. Hope you don't mind the take back. So yeah, we're spending the focus instead, and let's have a look. Oh, and she got, tell you what else I forgot as well. When you perform a focus action, recover 1 sanity, so she should have got a sanity back as well. Oh no, a sanity's fine. It is on, yeah, it was a health we lost last turn, wasn't it? Yeah, forget about that. Anyway, Tome of Secrets doesn't help us out anymore. The Grotesque Compendium. I think this is just spell effects. Yeah. Just spell effects, unfortunately. So, bummer. We're just, it's just 5 dice. The way I'm rolling, dear me. Come on, hold these up. Work. So we need a success. Come on. Oop, 1 fell out. We have 1 success. Don't knock it. It didn't. So we did get a 5. Foo. Foo. So we've passed. If you pass, you remember that by drinking space mead, oh yeah, you can safely use this buyer key to return home. Close this gate. And we didn't fail. We closed the gate. Fantastic. That is brilliant. This is what you should have done last time. But we'll let you off, Aggie, because you've succeeded this time. Brilliant. Woohoo! That's what we like. Let's put these Otherworld encounters back. And Squidney, let's put that down there. It has been dealt with, so brilliant. Well done, Agatha. So she shut a gate. Good job we did as well, because if the Omen track is on the blue constellation, if we actually have to move the Omen this turn, we would have gone on to the red sunburst, and we'd have lost the Doom. So well done, Agatha. Nice one. Okay, so that's it for Agatha. Next up it is Carson. So let's get up, yeah, the Rumour. Let's see if you can deal with this Rumour. And here we are with Carson. We'll need this. Let's pick those up. That. So we've got 3 Eldritch tokens on it at the moment. We don't want to lose any more if we can help it. As an encounter, an investigator on Space 16 may attempt to research similar occurrences from the past. Observation. So that is what we're going to do. An observation test. Remember, he has the 2 clues, and he also has the 2 focus to do a few re-rolls. But you won't need re-rolls, will you? And we've got the lucky cigarette case as well. So we can add 1 to the result of a die. So we only need a 4. A 4 dice. Come on. Oh, look at that. He gets 3 successes now after all that. But yes, I think we've got rid of this Rumour, thankfully. If he passes, he learns about a Russian folktale where children go missing. He may spend clues equal to half the investigators to solve this Rumour. That's what he's going to do. So he spent 2 clues. 2 of the clues that he got from Jack. Those have been spent. And we have got rid of this horrible Rumour. Thank God for that. But we've wasted time doing it. But it did need to be done. Okay, right, get rid of those. A decent roll for once. That was nice. Okay, so we've done that, and that was... Let me me just check again. Ongoing rumour. Yeah, as an encounter. So, let's finish that off. Good stuff. Right, well done, Carson. Carson and Agatha have finally come to the party. Brilliant. Okay, next up, it will be Preston. And here we are with Preston. What's he going to do now? Well, we've got rid of that rumour. Get rid of that as well. So, all that's left for him is a generic city encounter, isn't it? So, let's grab the deck. And, oh, we'll need this again. So, let's see what he gets. We're in a city. You unlock a warehouse filled with crates. Gain 1 resource. It's alright, isn't it? Let's have a look at his passive ability again. Oh, it's not his passive ability, it's Philanthropy. Oh, once per round, we've already done it. So... But he gains a resource. He's up to 2 resources now, so that's good. And we'll carry on, because we've still yet to do a test. Later, you tell the police the boxes were yours. Influence test. Nice one. 7 dice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on. And he gets 2 6s. So that's a pass. Woo! I've rolled 8 dice there, haven't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've rolled 8 dice, but I did get 2 successes. So I would have at least got 1 6. Sorry about that. I can't add. But we would have at least got 1 success. Where are we? We're here. If you pass, they bring you another. Gain 1 random item asset from the deck. Woohoo! So we get a random item. Oh, very nice. And it's from the deck. So we just go through it till we get an item. He's got loads of stuff, hasn't he? But we can share some of his stuff out with Carson next turn, because obviously Carson has got that trading ability. So, Gambler's Dice is a trinket. Intelligence Report is a service. Fresh Fruit is an item. So, the police have found a crate full of fruit. When you perform a rest action, you may discard this card to recover 1 additional health and 1 additional sanity. In fact, that'll be useful. So, yeah, there we go. So, he now has 9 items. Shuffle these back in. Pity we didn't get something like the magic sword, but there you go. Right, fancy rolling 8 dice, what an idiot. Good job we got 2 successes. Right, there we go. Okay. Well done, Preston. And that is it for the encounter phase. So all that leaves is, oh yes, it's the laugh and chuckle phase. And here we are at the laugh and chuckle phase. Just realised I made a huge error, didn't I? Huge error of judgment. Daniela Reyes. I had her do the research encounter to try and get the clue. She should have done is we've still got the adventure on here. We've got the expedition, not the expedition token, the adventure token on here. And what we should have done is we should have picked the card out of the Sphinx deck, and instead of doing the research encounter. So we'll do that next turn. That's what we should have done. And with any luck, it wouldn't have been, you know, an observation bloody test. It'd have been something she was good at, and we could have moved on the adventure a bit. But that's my fault. I just had the clue on my brain, didn't think about the adventure token, made a balls of it. So yes, I've put us in a bit of a bind there. I could have really cracked on with this adventure, but well, never mind. Right, Okay, laugh and chuckle phase. Let's find out what it is. We could do with this being green. Come on. Oh, it is green. Thank God for that. Right, so we have got omen movement. So the omen moves onto the red sunburst. We have no red sunburst gates. However, we do get a monster surge, which in a way is bad because we've only got one gate. So these monsters are going to end up... Oh, not that. That was on the Amazon, wasn't it? That clue. It means we're going to get two monsters on Tunguska, along with the child of the goat, which we haven't managed to get rid of this turn. So it was very lucky we got a green. Actually, if we got a reckoning, we'd have been rolling for another doom there. Right, okay, so two more monsters to go on to Tunguska. Let's get something easy, like a bloody cultist or something. A wraith, that's not easy. And it's got a green sort of tentacle on it. That means we'll have to check the back to see where it goes. It goes somewhere special. And the next one is, right from the bottom, come on, is a warlock, and they've got a reckoning on them as well. Ugh. Let's have a look at the warlock first. So, quite easy to kill. Does have a horror check, will, and you've got to get one success or you'll lose a sanity. The strength test is, well, the combat test is strength -1. Again, you need to get at least one to avoid being injured, but if you do get that one, you will kill it. If you fail the will test, lose 1 health. Oof. And on a reckoning, we roll a die. On a 1 or a 2, the nearest investigator gains a curse condition. We could do with getting rid of this guy as well. We'll stick him at Tunguska for the time being. I'll put him on the stand later. And then let's see where this wraith is going. This green symbol here, it's like a tentacle coming out of an egg. That means it's got some special placing text on the back. So let's see what it is. When this monster is spawned, the lead investigator gains a curse condition. Damn it. When this monster is defeated, an investigator may discard a curse condition. Well, that's brilliant. So we're going to have to go into Tunguska and kill all these things, is basically what we're going to have to do. Which means Daniela will have to stop being the lead investigator, I think. And then we might have a chance before the encounter phase of her not being cursed. Oh, damn it. We could have done with that carbine rifle, couldn't we? So it's got 3 toughness. The will test is -1. You've got to get at least 2 successes or you start losing sanity. The combat check is strength -1. Again, 2 successes or you lose health. And we've got to get 3 to kill it. Yeah, we'll get the curse condition in a minute. Oh, that is just awful. Oh, I was just hoping we were going to be, you know, placing it somewhere on the board, but unfortunately not. So, curse condition, where are they? Right over here. There they are, the Banes. And a cut. And let's go through. So we get a curse condition. That's blight. Cursed. So here we go. So she'll be rolling the red dice. If you gain another curse condition, flip this card instead. If you gain a blessed condition, discard this card instead. Roll 1 die. On a 4 or 5 or 6, discard this card. They are quite easy to get rid of compared to, say, Arkham Horror 2nd edition. But, yeah, that's just a pain. So that's horrendous. Just check she's got nothing that would have helped her. No. No, that's just grim. Right. Never mind. Makes it a bit more fun, doesn't it? Not. Okay, so we've done that with the Monster Surge. That's complete. Next up, clues. Woo! Good stuff. This is what we like. How about having some close to our investigators? That'd be nice. Mind you, saying that, we've got one at the pyramids that we can't seem to pick up. Right, this one is going to Space 17, India. There we go. And the last one is going to Space 19, which isn't too far away. Over here, Kamchatka, or wherever it is. Vladivostok. Siberia. So there we go, set at 19. And then, what other crap is going to happen? You cannot believe that this gibbering lunatic was once the smiling, lucid lawyer you spoke to this morning. Collapsed. His trembling hands indicated empty air. The worlds collided and the door collapsed. He abruptly pulls himself off the floor and looks out the small window of his cell. But so too will they pull. They will rip and tear, and a new door will open elsewhere. Nut job. Dimensional instability. This doesn't sound good. Event. Discard each gate that corresponds to the current omen and advance doom by 1 for each gate discarded. Whoa. We've only got Tunguska. The current omen is a red sunburst, so we're fine. Whew, got away with that one. So that indeed was a green card. We like that. But the next one is definitely yellow. So we know that. I'll discard that card, put these back. We have definitely got a reckoning next turn. So we're going to have to sort something out. Okay, we didn't need that, thankfully. But yes. Curse condition for Daniela is crap. Made a big mistake with her. I should have had her doing the adventure, not that research encounter. Other than that, good. We've closed the gate. Carson's got rid of that rumour. Preston's fulfilled his personal story. So, other than the cock-up I made with Daniela and the fact she's got a curse condition, things went pretty well that turn. We're going to have to get to Tunguska. The main reason, I mean, we'd have a bit of time if it was just the gate, but we need to kill those things. So perhaps Preston, yes, we can't have Daniela going first. We want to try and get rid of her curse condition, so let's say Preston's our first player, because him and Carson are together. What we'll do is we shall try and... or perhaps Carson should go first. Either Carson or Preston's fine. Either one, I think, because they can riff off each other. With his trading ability and with Preston's acquire assets ability, hopefully we'll be able to get the carbine rifle. Because with that carbine rifle, we should be able to kill a few things. Perhaps Carson should go first. Because, oh no, perhaps it should be Preston. Preston acquires assets, then Carson can acquire assets. They both get a resource each. In fact, Carson would get 2. He can only get 1 though, because he's already got 1 resource, but yeah. Then what we can look to do is get that carbine, and then when it comes to Carson's go, he can do his trading. Perhaps, and you know, what's Preston's not bad at fighting now. One of them will end up with the carbine, hopefully, and what is it? And Carson can bless whoever is going to do the fighting. Then they go to Tunguska, and yeah, try and wallop those 3 nasty monsters there, starting with that Wraith. And let's see if we can get rid of Daniela's curse condition, because we need her. In fact, I'm going to put that on the clue. I'm going to put the adventure token on the clue, just to remind me that I'm doing the adventure and not the clue. And hopefully she'll be able to get on with the adventure by doing that Sphinx encounter, and hopefully she won't be cursed. If she's cursed, we'll do the research encounter, I think. In fact, if she's cursed, we might just do a general wilderness encounter. Aggie, she might gain a ship ticket and we might send her towards the Amazon. I do want somebody on this side of the board. It's a bit quiet at the moment, but it won't stay that way. So let's get her over there. And yeah, and there are a couple of clues that she can be picking up along here anyway, and the expedition. So we'll move her this way. We'll get somebody on that side of the board. Preston, Carson going to work together, try and get rid of those monsters. If they can, try and shut the gate. May as well if they're there. And they've got a couple of clues they can be going for after that, in Space 17 and Space 19. And Daniela, if we're lucky, get rid of her curse condition and she can start on that adventure. Yeah, the adventure she should have started on this turn. What an idiot. Damn, like a fool. So, yeah, big error on my part, that big tactical error. Alright, so thank you very much for watching. Thanks for all the subscriptions, thank you for all the views, thank you for all the help and support. As ever, if I've made an error, please flag it up. I'll decide whether I'll house rule it or not. No, please flag it up. Then even if I do house rule anything, then at least people watching know how you should play it without house rules. So please point anything out. Again, any hints or tips, they've been hugely helpful. So any of those, again, keep them coming. That's brilliant. And what else? Talked about mistakes, haven't I? Yeah, oh, of course, anybody who's been across to Board Game Links, I think we've got about 16 likes on Board Game Links. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you to go over there and upvote the site. And similarly on BGG, anybody who's liked the videos there, giving them a like or drop Geek Gold, anything like that, thank you so much. It's very kind of you. And anybody who's followed me on Twitter or Instagram, again, thanks very much. And yes, other than that, I think it's just a case of saying toodaloo.